So this happens all the time. A guitarist will pick up a guitar with a strap on and it'll knock over a mic stand or something. So I've been wrapping my straps like this, and it makes a huge difference. You can see if I was to pick a guitar up off of the stand and it was wrapped differently, this could snag the stand. Guitarists have probably gone through this a bunch. It's one of the first things I teach my students. Bring it around the front, over the cutaway. It should look like a sash, like it's just one, prom queen or something like that. Now the strap stays nice and close to the guitar. You can grab it out of the stand, off a wall, and it's not gonna snag into you. Hey, my name is Deb. I've been a serious guitarist for over 3.5 decades. I want to help you improve as a guitarist. And for the last 30 or so years, I've played everywhere from New York and Vermont to Sunset Strip in LA, etc. I've learned a lot about being ready for the gig. And that's what this specific video is going to be about. And before you can do anything, you got to know the song. And I want to be as off-book as possible live. I don't want to look at notes. I want to just be able to play the music. So I will write charts out, very simple, basic ones, chord structures, riffs, rhythms, and I will put them on whiteboards around the practice space, so that both myself and the rest of the band can see them. This is one of the whiteboards in the space. This is a set of the next show that we're going to be playing. This is one of the songs we're learning. We're actually going to have a guest singer for this. We're learning someone else's song here. That's the verse and the chorus, just the chord outline, and then the structure of the song, where the hits are and stuff like that. Up here on the whiteboard, you can see it's in the practice space, so most people can see it. And I've got other whiteboards around the space too. These whiteboards are all over the place in the practice space. I'll write out the rhythms and the chord structures, just things that need to be put together for the song. All right, so let's say we've got these two parts to a song. That's the first riff, and the second could be. Something like that. Now I've got the two riffs. I can play them both, but I need to practice transitioning between the two. So I'll often do what I call a 4-and-4 and play each one 4 times. And the band, we practice all the time too. Let's do that in 4-and-4s until we get the transitions solid, until we can turn each corner with confidence. It's something I say quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And I'll do 4-and-4. And then if I can get to the point where I can do 4-and-4 with my eyes closed, that is key for me. If I can turn that corner confidently without looking, I'm not saying you don't have to look, especially if you're in between parts and there's a big position shift or something, sure, but being able to just focus on the playing is super important to me. That's when I feel like I'm actually ready to gig a song. Now, let's move on to rigs and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, maybe you're playing Madison Square Garden and you got a ton of stage space, but the stages on which I play and have been for over 30 years now tend to not be that big. So the size of my rig is as important to me as how reliable it is and how consistent I can get my sounds out of it. Let's take a look at the two that I've got. So this is my entire rig for the Originals band, Tiny Enormous, the instrumental band. A very compact pedal board, that and all the cables. Fits wonderfly in a tiny little bag, keep over one shoulder, guitar in one hand, bag in the other. The other hand is my little amp. Orange Micro Terra, this thing sounds incredible. Through a Vox BC108, small cabinet, big sound. This is loud enough to compete with a quiet drummer in like a cafe setting. Anywhere else I'm playing, I'm going to be mic'd up. I always keep a Sennheiser 609 with me just in case. They don't have a mic, which has come in handy more than once. I put my name on it. I love my label maker. What predates my label maker is this, which is the power supply for the Micro Terra. You can see right there, it just says Micro Terra. It takes maybe 6 seconds to do this. Tear off a piece of paper, painter's tape or masking tape, and label your stuff. It'll cut down on your time. Setting up, tearing down, you'll always know where your things are. I don't know why people don't do this. Yeah, this is the entire thing. That bag over one shoulder, guitar in one hand, and just like I Velcro my pedals down, I Velcroed the orange micro tear to the top of this. So this is in one hand, bag's over my shoulder, guitar's in the other. That's all I need. It would be pretty silly of me to not mention that I usually keep at least one of these with me in my bag at any point in time. DI box, you never know, might as well keep one with you. The Boss IR2 has obviously great impulse responses in it and amazing amp sims. Great for going direct in, especially if you're going to just sit in for a couple songs or there's limited backline space or something like that. I used to keep this at the end of my signal path and not even bringing it very often. And also a Line 6 Pod Express. This is more of a break glass in case of emergency situation. I do want to mention that having the extra switcher, which you can plug into the foot switch here, will allow you to control all of the effects rather than just one. It's really, really powerful and really easy to keep in your bag just in case something really goes wrong. So the rig for my covers band is equally simple, if not more simple. I play this Yamaha RevStar directly into this Fender Champion 100. Now yes, that is a solid state amp with an open back, and the only pedal that I use is the one that comes with the amp. I have the 2 channels, and I use the reverb as an effect because we're always playing in a room. Now I spilled some paint on it, and that paint dribbled down the front, so I changed the grill, which is why it looks like this. I just used the tapestry that I had. But it's super simple. There's a compartment in the back where I keep the mic and the cables and the guitar straight into the amp. Again, it's a single trip to and from the car and into the venue. Give it to me. So every single stage is different, and one of the coolest things about this stage is that there's a little shelf on my side for my drinks. It's really cool. But another thing that nobody really tells you about is how to set up your mic stand. And as a guitarist, a problem that I would have even with booms is that I would run into the mic stand. Now most people will set up the mic stand with the boom just kind of straight in front of them like this. And I would still run into it because I move around so much when I play. So I've started moving the mic stand to the side of the body of the guitar, tilting the mic a little bit towards me so it's still kind of pointed straight at my mouth while I'm singing, and I've got a lot more space with which to work when I'm on stage. So there's a whole bunch of things that most people won't tell you about being gig ready, and hopefully you found it helpful. The first one was a bonus, is wrapping your strap around your guitar so that when you pick it up it doesn't snag on anything. I want to note also strap locks. I've got them on all of my stuff, and I don't know why everyone doesn't have them. I don't know why they just don't exist on every single strap and every single guitar. Your guitar is likely one of the most valuable things to you. Maybe not in terms of like money, but probably emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, it's one of the most important things in your world. If you're watching this channel and you got to this point, so like put 20 bucks into getting some strap locks and just make sure your guitar is a little bit more secure than it was without them. Know the music, not just the riffs. Be able to turn the corners. You can use the 4-and-4 to practice turning the corners. For me, I like to do that until I can play it with my eyes closed. Then I'll feel confident enough to actually get through the thing gigging. My rig rules. It needs to be compact, reliable, and versatile. If I stick to those 3 things, then I'm in great shape. And I know I talked a lot about how great it is to be able to set up quickly with them, but the real value comes in teardown time. Now at the end of the night, or if you're the second of 3 bands or the opening band at a club show, or specifically at like a festival thing where you got 35 minutes, 45 minutes, you got to get on and off really quick. Someone coming on right after you. It's so great to be able to just pick up my pedal board, my little amp, or just my pedal board and like an IR pedal and my guitars, walk off stage with it, and then I put them in their cases. And sometimes I will literally go and put them in my van and come back and be chilling before the next band even comes on. And I don't need to think about tear down or putting my stuff away or anything like that for the rest of the night. It's worth its weight in gold. Another thing that I brought up is like Velcro and labels. Super cheap, super easy. I don't know why people don't overuse them on absolutely everything. Backups like a DI box. The Boss IR2, I used to use Strymon Iridium as my amp pedal. And for me, the Line 6 Pod Express with that extra dual controller pedal is kind of a break glass in case of emergency, and I can replace my entire rig with that. I also mentioned power drops, and sometimes I bring the power conditioner with me. I did not this weekend, and there was some crazy humming happening with the Revstar. This is with the covers band where I play the Revstar, and there was like a grounding issue on my side of the stage, and it was humming really bad. I ended up using my Les Paul, so it didn't ruin the show or anything, but I wish I would have brought that with me. I also talked about earplugs and earbuds, always bringing those. I usually bring my in-ears. I don't use them for the cover band. I mostly use them for the originals band, Tiny Enormous, but sometimes they'll just have it set up. You can just plug right in, you know, and if they don't, no worries, I got my actual earplugs. And one of the singers this last weekend, in between sets, was like, hey, do you have any earplugs I can use? Because the stage sound was just really loud at this place. Because she knew I was the one who always practices with them at the practice space. And if anyone's going to have extra ones, it's me. And I always do carry some extra ones because someone might need them. Oh, you got a looper pedal? Yeah, save a sound check, sound loop on there. It's really, really helpful for me. Keep a picture of your amp settings. I keep mine online in my Google Drive, and I also keep the settings for my Boss IR2. I export it as a file and I keep that in my Google Drive. So if everything blows up, my main rig doesn't work, the amp doesn't work or something, I gotta use the IR2 and that doesn't work, I can still, or it doesn't, at the very least doesn't remember what my settings are or screwed up my settings, I can just download those and get them on my pedal very, very quickly, at least get some tones with which I'm used to working so I know how they're gonna react. And the final thing I talked about was mic stand positioning. It just took me forever to kind of figure that out. I've never heard anybody else even like address it, but that made a huge difference to me. I started doing that, like, I think maybe even in the 90s, it was a long time ago. I started realizing, wow, this is much easier for me to move around on stage, and it makes me just much more comfortable. So feel free to like not use my mic stand setup, but do something that's comfortable for you. Take some time to figure that out. Most people don't even think about that. But that was a bunch of stuff that hopefully you find at least some of it useful and helpful and immediately applicable to you and getting ready to play your gigs.